a few days ago I woke up with a headache, sore throat, and runny nose. So what do I have? Do I have COVID? Do I have a flu? Do I have a cold? I don't know. So here I am trying to break down these common symptoms associated with these illnesses. And what we have here is, let me break it down. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's get writing. We have 3 of the most common illnesses going around right now. We'll go from the least severe to the most severe, starting with the common cold, and pardon me for my beautiful handwriting. Next, we have the flu. Okay, and then last but not least, we have the infamous COVID. And now I'm gonna list out the common symptoms associated with each of these illnesses. The first one would be chills and fevers. You would have sore throat, a runny nose, then you would have congestion. Let's see, we have body aches, fatigue, headaches. Let's throw in diarrhea or GI problems. Now let's go through each of these colds to figure out what are the associated symptoms. If I have a common cold, I would not expect chills or fevers, but I would expect sore throat, I would expect runny nose, definitely congestion, and body aches. Fatigue would be more on the mild side. Headaches is also more on the mild side, and diarrhea, not too much. So I think these would be the symptoms for the common cold. And if you experience different symptoms, please let me know in the comments below. When you get a common cold, you're usually infected by a virus, and there are over 200 different kinds of viruses, but the most popular one would be the rhinovirus. Basically, a virus is an infectious agent that hitchhikes on your cells, and it hacks into your command center, and it starts to recode the DNA codons, and that's how it gets the cells to do its bidding. So it can reproduce little baby viruses and goes and attacks other cells in your body. So we have the cold, which is usually affected by the rhinovirus. The next one is the flu, which is usually affected by the influenza virus. So let's go through the symptoms of the flu. Make sure you stay hydrated. All right, so flu. Chills, yes. Fever, yes. Sore throat, yes. Runny nose, yes. Congestion, body aches. Fatigue. Okay, so flu, you will be hit hard and fast. And for fatigue, you will be extremely fatigued. And this is more than your usual. So definitely a big yes. Headaches, and yeah, I would say, and diarrhea, yeah, I would say diarrhea as well. All right, so that is basically everything on the list. All right. Well, now you can kind of tell the difference between a cold and a flu. Of course, we save the best for the last. COVID, which is affected by the coronavirus. Let's go through the symptoms one by one again. Let's see. Chills, yes. Fever, yes. Sore throat, yes. Runny nose, yes. Congestion, body aches. Fatigue, definitely. Headaches, yes. Diarrhea, yes. So basically, COVID and flu, they both have all of the same symptoms that we see on this list. Now I'm going to talk about some of the special attacks by these different viruses and what actually sets them apart. And hopefully that can help differentiate a little bit between these very similar illnesses. So here, let's make another Y category. Let's call it special attack. So for a cold, it's usually very gradual, and the symptoms are more focused on your face and your head. So more the headaches, itchy, watery eyes, your nose, congestion, stuffy nose, your cough, sore throat, and sneezing. Yeah. So I would say gradual, and focus more on the head. Next we have is the flu, and the flu is like the full-on attack of the cold, but instead of being gradual, the flu is very abrupt. You get attacked right away, no warnings at all. So I think that's like the major setting point between the cold and the flu. So this is very abrupt. And finally, we have COVID. There are many strands of COVID. The two of the most popular ones that are raging wild right now is the Delta virus and the Omicron virus. So let's talk about the Delta virus. We have the Delta strand. What sets the Delta virus apart is that there's no taste and no smell. So those are the very important characteristics of the Delta coronavirus. So no taste, slash smell. And now we have the raging Omicron virus. And for this, new studies have shown that patients are now complaining of night sweats. So let's add that there. Night sweats. And now back to the original question. So if you wake up with a slight headache, a sore throat, and runny nose, what exactly do you have? And it's really hard to differentiate if you only have these three symptoms without having any of the special symptoms. So as you can see, there are a lot of overlap between a cold, a flu, and COVID, and it's really hard to differentiate between these symptoms. And that's why getting tested as soon as possible is really, really crucial. Do you know that phrase that you're innocent until proven guilty? Same thing applies here. So in this case, I would assume that I have COVID until proven otherwise, right? Because I would always assume the worst, and then because it's the worst, everything is better from then on. But if I assume that it's the best, then it would only go downhill. So my way of thinking is that I would always assume the worst, and then it can only be better from then on, which gives me hope on my healing journey. So as I look at this chart, it's very, very confusing. All the symptoms overlap, and I really don't know what I have. So what is the best approach, or the holistic approach? The answer is not getting sick, but that's so much easier said than getting done. But what I like to recommend from a holistic point of view is that now is the time to boost our immune system. And I think when our immune system defenses are high, we don't really need to worry as much as getting the viruses or bacteria invading into our system. You can boost your immune system by loading up with vitamin C, high vitamin C in vegetables, high vitamin C in fruits, and even vitamin C supplements. There are a lot of vegetables that are high in vitamin C, including peppers, 1 teaspoon containing 2.5 milligrams of vitamin C. We have broccoli. A cup of broccoli contains 81 milligrams of vitamin C. 1 cauliflower has 405 milligrams of vitamin C. Kale, a cup of kale has 20 milligrams of vitamin C. Peas, a cup of pea has 58 milligrams of vitamin C. Watercress, a cup of watercress contains 15 milligrams of vitamin C. We have spinach. A cup of spinach contains 84 milligrams of vitamin C. I'll put a link in the description below listing out some of the vegetables with high vitamin C. Next, we have fruits that are high in vitamin C. When you think of vitamin C, a lot of people tend to think of oranges, and that's because it's very sour and citrusy. So think of vitamin C, soury, citrusy, zesty kind of fruits. So then you have your oranges, your lemons, and your grapefruits, all the soury kind of bursting your mouth kind of fruits. But if you're more of a sweet person than a sour person, you can try golden kiwis. Golden kiwis are loaded with vitamin C. In fact, they contain more than 3 times the amount of vitamin C than an orange. The last category under vitamin C fruits I would think of would be berries. Berries are loaded with antioxidants that fight off free radicals and fight infections and help you heal faster. So consider berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, cherries, all the berry families. And the final intake method to boost your vitamin C is through supplements. And you can supplement with 1,000 milligrams to 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C, or you can just eat the fruits and veggies that are more natural. But another supplement that I would highly recommend would be zinc. Zinc is also another essential mineral that helps you boost your immune system and fights off infections. This is awesome. Or you can grab yourself airborne tablets, which are really, really helpful in supporting your immune system. And in one tablet, you have 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. But don't go OD on vitamin C, that's a no-no. Everything should be taken in moderation. Too much vitamin C is bad for your digestion as well. Vitamin C also improves on your iron intake, so allows your body to absorb more iron, and that itself might seem like a good thing because you'll be more healthy and more blood, but an overload of iron can also damage your organs like your heart, your liver, and your central nervous system. So everything in your body must be taken in moderation. In severe cases, prolonged intake of large amounts of vitamin C lead to too much uric acid and oxalate, which can unfortunately produce kidney stones and or gout. Now we know the common symptoms and how to sorta differentiate between a common cold, flu, and COVID, even though it's still confusing as heck. And the holistic way of reducing your chances of getting hacked by these viruses would be through boosting your immune system. Vitamin C builds and protects your immune system, and it basically heals and it hastens the healing process. But there's this one form of vitamin C that trumps them all, and it overrides all the risk factors and all the risks associated with vitamin C. And that's gratitude. See, when I was sick in bed and I couldn't get out of bed, I just didn't have the energy. I had this throbbing headache. My throat was burning, so I couldn't really talk. And I was in bed the whole day. What made me feel much better was that my friends and family, they would care about me. They'll be miles to thousands of miles away. They send me get well soon messages, deliver care packages for me. It just warms my heart. And I'm so thankful to all the friends and family out there looking out for me. So I really wanted to share the secret ingredient. So if you know someone that's sick, reach out to them, message them, talk to them. It'll make their day. So I hope you all have a sick 2022 and not a sick 2022.